They booed him once, and now they're screaming his name so loud it rattles the walls of Belfast, and Finn Bálor knows it. He feels it. And what he said in that ring wasn't just a promo, it was a warning. A warning to the locker room, to Raw, and to anyone who still thinks Finn Bálor is just another guy on the roster. Because what happened in Belfast? That wasn't nostalgia. That was unfinished business boiling over. Listen closely. Have you ever heard a crowd this emotionally torn? Half pride, half rage, half regret. Yeah, do the math. That's how powerful this moment was. Finn Bálor stood in his hometown, microphone in hand, eyes scanning faces he grew up with. People who watched him grind in gym halls, people who doubted him, people who believed in him before WWE ever did. And instead of thanking them politely, he challenged them. He called them out. He made it uncomfortable. And that's why this segment hit different. Quick question for you: if you were standing in that crowd, would you have cheered Finn or booed him? Be honest in the comments. Bálor didn't beg for love. He didn't chase validation. He owned every scar, every betrayal, every missed opportunity. He reminded Belfast and the world that he left this city with nothing but hunger and came back with gold, history, and a reputation that still scares people backstage. And then came the line that flipped the entire arena on its head. He said he didn't need Belfast anymore. Let that sink in. The anger in the crowd was real. You could feel it through the screen. But Finn didn't flinch. Because Finn Bálor isn't trying to be liked, he's trying to be feared again. Do you think this is the most confident version of Finn Bálor we've ever seen? Or is this arrogance going to cost him? Drop your take below. This wasn't just about hometown pride, this was about control, about dominance, about reminding Raw that while others chase moments, Finn Bálor creates legacies. And the way he talked about Judgment Day, cold, calculated, dangerous. This wasn't a leader begging for unity, this was a general reminding everyone who pulls the strings. And let's be real, WWE has been teasing something darker, something more ruthless. The way Finn paused, the way he smirked, the way he let the crowd drown themselves in noise before speaking again. That wasn't accidental. That was a man enjoying the chaos. Here's another question: do you think the demon is coming back, or is this version of Finn even worse? Because if this is Finn Bálor fully unleashed, no apologies, no gratitude, no limits, then the Raw roster should be very nervous. He didn't name names, but he didn't have to. The message was clear: nobody is safe, not champions, not allies, not legends. And Belfast? Belfast was the spark. This crowd wanted the hero they remembered. What they got was the villain they created. And that's the most terrifying part. So now I'm asking you, was Finn right to turn his back on his hometown? Or did Belfast deserve better? Comment, argue, share this video with someone who thinks Finn Bálor is past his prime, and watch how wrong they are. Because this was not just a promo. This was a declaration of war. And here's the part that should make everyone uncomfortable: Finn Bálor didn't sound bitter, he sounded liberated. That's dangerous. Because when a man stops caring about approval, stops caring about cheers, stops caring about legacy points and highlight packages, that's when he becomes unpredictable. Finn wasn't talking to Belfast anymore, he was talking through them, using their reactions as fuel. Every boo sharpened him, every chant fed the fire. And did you catch the moment his tone changed? For just a split second, the smile disappeared, his voice dropped, the crowd quieted. That wasn't scripted bravado, that was personal. That was Finn reminding everyone that he's been written off before, and every single time, he came back meaner. Let me ask you this: why do you think WWE chose this city for this promo? Coincidence or calculated chaos? Let me know. Because Belfast isn't just Finn's hometown, it's his origin story, and origins are where villains are born. He talked about sacrifice, about leaving family behind, about breaking his body while others stayed comfortable, and instead of asking for sympathy, he weaponized it. He basically said, I earned everything you're watching, and you don't get to judge how I use it. That hit hard. You could feel the split in the audience, some clinging to the hero Finn, others fully embracing the monster standing in front of them. And that split? That's power. WWE thrives on moments like this because controversy keeps people watching. Do you think WWE is finally positioning Finn Bálor as a true top-tier threat again? Or is this just another tease? Sound off below. And let's not ignore what wasn't said. No championships mentioned. No opponents called out. No clear direction. That silence was intentional. Because when Finn doesn't name a target, it means everyone is a target. Champions should be watching this back with the volume off, because the message doesn't need sound. This version of Finn doesn't chase gold, gold chases him. And if you notice the camera angle, the lighting, the pacing, WWE treated this like a main event moment, not a throwaway hometown segment. That should tell you everything. They're rebuilding Finn Bálor brick by brick, and Belfast was step one. Here's another quick one: would you rather see Finn Bálor win a world title as this ruthless version, or return to the smiling underdog? There's no wrong answer, but your choice says a lot. Because nostalgia is safe. This Finn is volatile. And when he dropped the mic and let the boos rain down on him, he didn't rush out of the ring. He stood there, absorbing it, almost daring them to hate him more. That's confidence. That's control. That's a man who knows exactly where he's headed. So remember this moment. Remember Belfast. Because months from now, when Finn Bálor is standing over a fallen champion, people are going to look back and say this is where it started. Now tell me, was this the best promo of Finn Bálor's career, or just the beginning of something even darker? Comment your answer. Share this with a friend who slept on this segment. And stay ready, because Ring Rumble is watching every move Finn Bálor makes next. And don't get it twisted, this wasn't Finn Bálor asking for a spotlight. He was taking it. Because while the crowd was still buzzing, still trying to process whether they'd just been insulted or inspired, Finn had already moved on mentally. That's the scariest part. He didn't linger on their reaction because in his mind, Belfast already served its purpose. It reminded him who he is and who he refuses to be again. Think about it, when was the last time a hometown segment felt this hostile? This raw? This real? Usually it's cheap pops, smiling faces, forced gratitude. This felt like therapy gone wrong. And Finn was the only one benefiting from it. Here's something I want you to really consider. Do moments like this blur the line between character and reality too much, or is that exactly what wrestling needs right now? Because the more Finn spoke, the clearer it became this wasn't a man chasing redemption. This was a man rewriting his narrative. He wasn't the prodigy anymore. He wasn't the first ever anything. He was a survivor, a manipulator, a strategist who understands that emotion is a weapon, and Belfast handed him a loaded one. And let's talk about Judgment Day for a second. Finn didn't hype them up. He didn't praise them. He positioned himself above the noise. That subtle shift matters. Leaders who scream for attention aren't real leaders. Leaders who let silence do the talking? Those are the ones you don't see coming until it's too late. Do you think Judgment Day is about to change because of this version of Finn? Or is Finn about to outgrow them entirely? I need your thoughts on that. Because if this was Finn planting seeds, then Raw is standing on a ticking time bomb. Every word he said carried weight. Every pause was intentional. And every boo from the crowd only validated his point. He doesn't need universal love, he needs relevance, fear, and momentum. And after Belfast, he has all three. What makes this even crazier? He didn't raise his voice. No yelling, no ranting, just calm, controlled conviction. That's not insecurity, that's certainty. And certainty creates monsters. So now the question isn't if Finn Bálor is coming for something big, it's when. And when that moment comes, when the lights hit just right, when the opportunity opens, when someone underestimates him one last time. Remember this night. Remember this crowd. Remember how it sounded when Finn Bálor stopped caring what anyone thought. Because the most dangerous wrestlers in history weren't loved. They were believed. Now I want you to settle this in the comments. Did Belfast make Finn Bálor stronger, or did it finally unleash the villain that was always there? Share this video if this segment got under your skin the way it got under mine. And keep it locked right here on Ring Rumble, because if this is chapter 1, the rest of this story is going to get ugly. And here's the uncomfortable truth no one wants to admit: Finn Bálor won that segment the moment the crowd turned on him. Because when fans argue, when timelines explode, when comments sections turn into war zones, that's not failure. That's impact. Silence kills careers. Reactions revive them. And Belfast gave Finn exactly what he needed: resistance. Ask yourself this: when was the last time Finn Bálor made you feel something this intense? Anger? Confusion? Respect? Maybe all three at once? That emotional collision is rare, and WWE knows it. That's why this moment wasn't followed by music. No interruption, no cheap cliffhanger. WWE trusted Finn to carry the weight of the night, and he did. Alone, no crutches. Here's a small but important detail most people missed: the way Finn looked at the hard camera as he finished. That wasn't for Belfast. That was for the locker room. That was for the champions watching backstage. That was Finn silently saying, "I'm done waiting." Do you think someone should have interrupted him? Or was the silence the perfect ending? Comment your take. Because if someone had come out, it would have weakened the moment. This was about dominance through presence, not confrontation. And presence like that shifts pecking orders. Let's talk long term. WWE doesn't invest this level of storytelling unless there's a payoff coming. A title, a betrayal, a complete transformation. Something big is brewing, and Finn just flipped the switch in front of the entire world. And if you think this is just another character phase, you're missing the point. This isn't a mask Finn can take off. This feels permanent. Like a man who finally accepted that being hated is easier than being forgotten. So here's a bold question: could this version of Finn Bálor headline a WrestleMania? Or has WWE missed that window forever? I want real answers in the comments. Because moments like this create belief. And belief creates main eventers. Belfast didn't get a feel-good homecoming. They got a reality check. And the rest of the Raw roster just got put on notice. Finn Bálor is no longer asking where he fits. He's deciding who gets pushed out of the way. And if you're still doubting him, that's perfect. Because Finn Bálor doesn't need your support anymore. He feeds on your doubt. Share this video if this segment stuck with you long after Raw ended. And stay right here with Ring Rumble because the storm Finn Bálor just unleashed.